previous chapter, we have studied about the physiography and drainage of India, and today we will learn more about how the physiography influences the climate of these two places, India and Brazil. Let's first understand what are isotherms. You've already studied in standard 9th. Isotherms are lines of constant or equal temperature. They are often used on weather maps by the meteorologists to give a large-scale view of temperature across the country. If you have ever looked at a weather map in a newspaper, the isotherms are used to divide the color-filled temperatures. Study the following figure and answer the questions that follow. This is the map of Brazil. Considering the isotherms of Brazil, what is the average range of temperature in Brazil? Now if you look at the index down, you have down, see the index, it's showing you 18, there's a red line. So that is temperature. So here on the map you see those red lines, right? Yeah, now you see they have given the temperature 18, then it is 23 and 28, right? So the highest is 28 and the minimum is 18. So we can say the average range of temperature in Brazil is 18 degrees Celsius to 28 degrees Celsius. In which area does it rain more in Brazil? Now once again, if you look at the index there down, they have shown you the blue colored areas. The darker side receives more rainfall, and if you observe the map of Brazil, you will see that the Amazon basin area, this particular area, is more blue. So we can say it rains more in Amazon river basin in Brazil. From which direction are winds flowing towards Brazil? Now you see there you have the arrows showing you the direction of the winds, right? You see the directions are there. The top is the north, the down is the south, and towards the right is the east. So when you look from down, so you can say southeast, right? The arrow is going in the southeast direction, and from top if you see it is the northeast direction. So we say winds flow towards Brazil from southeast and northeast direction. What could be the reasons behind that? Now if you see the map, you have the equator 0 degrees, you can see 0 degrees, the equator which is there passing on top, that is toward the north of Brazil it is, right? So there you have the low pressure belts forming. So we can say the equator passes through the northern parts of Brazil. The low pressure belt is found near the equatorial regions in Brazil. What could be the obstruction in the way of these winds? Now if you see, you have the great escarpments over here, and you have the Brazilian highlands in the area. You can see the escarpments shown to you and the Brazilian high. So these two, they act as a barrier. When the winds come from the oceans, they act as a barrier. So we can say the great escarpments and the Brazilian high could be the obstruction in the way of these winds. Which type of rainfall will occur because of these winds? Now if you go, you see there, you have the escarpments, it's very steep up. So when the winds, they blow from the oceans, they are obstructed by the escarpments and they move upwards direction, and they give what is called as orographic rain. See the diagram here. See, the wind goes upwards, you get rain. This rain is called the orographic, and when it goes on the other side, it becomes the rain shadow region. It is the leeward side area. The windward side receives rainfall and the leeward does not receive rainfall. So we say orographic rainfall will occur because of these winds. Correlate these winds and rainfall. Now when we correlate them, what do we see? That the windward side of the great escarpments and the Brazilian high, they receive abundant rainfall, and when it crosses and goes to the other side, the rainfall decreases. You can come into the rain shadow region. The answer: the windward side of the great escarpments and the Brazilian high receive abundant orographic rainfall, and the rain shadow region is formed to the other side. In which part of Brazil are the average temperatures low? Now if you look over here down, see, when you see up, it's 21 degrees Celsius. So the temperature in the Paraguay-Paraná basin, over there it's low. So we say the average temperatures are low in the Paraguay-Paraná river basin. Identify the rain shadow areas in Brazil. Now if you look at the rain shadow regions, see once again, you have the winds being obstructed by the great escarpments and the Brazilian high. So when the winds they travel on the other side, they become dry, and that area, that is the leeward side area, the one which I marked in circle, it becomes the dry area. It does not receive rainfall. It is also known as the drought quadrilateral. Now it lies in the northeast. So we say the rain shadow region is found to the northeast of the Brazilian highland in Brazil. Does describe its climate characteristics. Now if you look at it, see once again, you come here, you have the temperature showing over here. Down it is showing you 0, okay, and you look up, it is showing you over there 600. It's showing you 600 if you measure. So 0 to 600. So we say it receives only 0 millimeters to 600 millimeters of average annual rainfall. The average annual temperature in this region, now if you look at the temperature also, average, you have 23 degrees Celsius and 28 degrees Celsius. In which region do you find a higher temperature? Now see, again you come, you will see that the temperatures are higher. Over here it is 28 degrees, and if you look down, it is the 0 degree, that is your equator area. So we can say we find a higher temperature in the regions near the equator in Brazil. Considering the latitudinal extent of Brazil, where will you find temperate climate in Brazil? Now look at once again, you look down, you have the Tropic of Capricorn, right? And the Tropic of Capricorn, it comes towards the south. You look at the escarpments over there, right? There you have the escarpment. So we can say we will find temperature climates in Brazil to the south of the Tropic of Capricorn, that is to the south of the Great Escarpments and the Brazilian highlands. Describe the winds blowing between 0 degrees to 5 degrees north and south zones. Now once again you look there up, the equator you have, that's the low pressure area, and due to the rotation of the earth, the winds blow towards the center. So once again we have them blowing. The winds blowing between 0 to 5 degrees north zone will blow from the northeast towards the equator, and on the other hand the winds blowing between 0 degrees to 5 degrees south zone, they blow from the southeast direction towards the equator. See your answer? Which method has been used to show the distribution in this map? Now you have already studied previously. Once again we see what is the isoplate method. In this method the distribution is shown with the help of lines. Have you seen? Like I already told you before, you have the red lines, right, of equal temperature. They are all joined together. So that method of showing it with drawing lines of equal temperature, it is called the isoplate method. So when the distribution of a variable is continuous, the isoplate method is then used to show its distribution. And the other, you have the choroplate method. That is, in this method the data regarding various geographical variables is shown by shades of tints of various color. Like you see in the index, all different shades are used, showing you all the different temperatures. So like that they use all the different shades, the colors, the tints. So your answer comes, the isoplate method is used to show the distribution of annual average temperature, and the choroplate method is used to show the distribution of the annual average rainfall.